Thursday, followed by Touring late Thursday. By Wednesday in upper 70s to the 80s. Slow Wednesday night, then low mid-50s. By Thursday in upper 60s to low 70s. Precipitation 20%, 50% Wednesday and 80% Wednesday night. Winds southeast to southwest to 5 to the north to 5 to 15 miles per hour tonight. Every once in a while we even do get tongue twisted. This is Big New Power for WESS with Ken Watts and vertical horizontal polarization.
All right. Okay, not bad. Let's hear it for that one. Now, John Baxter. All right, we're going to cue it back up, and then we'll have someone else try this here. All right, who would like to try next? All right, go ahead.
I would.
All right, go ahead.
This is W. What's this letter here? S. It's the Lion. What was the name of that title again? What was that title? Sleeps. Well, anyway, that record's half over, and right now it's partly cloudy overnight. Yeah. And where's the temperature at on this piece of paper here? It's, partly sunny, etc. Following a chance of Wednesday. I think it's 78 degrees inside. We don't know how old it is outside. And it's now 8:30, you know. Forgot to wind my watch. Partly cloudy overnight.
WESS, much more music.
Clearing Thursday. Tomorrow. I think I said to get high tomorrow, man. I can't see anything else here. The winds. We have winds. They're somewhere out there, man. Here we go. Wednesday. Travel at 10 to 20 miles an hour. What the heck? Do we want to travel that fast? It's 10 to 20 mile per hour. Wednesday. Here. 1H447PED5-21 ... That's the weather, and this is your friendly newsman, Tex. Have a pleasant night.
WESS, all hits, all the time. Solid gold, boss hit-bound radio. 21 minutes after 11 o'clock at WESS. And remember, if you must drive in snow, sleet, or ice, the National Safety Council cautions you to follow these simple guidelines. Reduce your speed for better control. Keep your windshield clear during very bad storm. Pull off the roadway at the first safe spot. And try to wait until the storm lets up. Pump your brakes much sooner than you would to stop an ordinary situation. It's a good idea to use snow tires for better traction and always good to anticipate. Somebody tell me this word, please. Everybody look, this word is right here. Everybody at once, try it. It's anticipation. Stops. Don't accelerate rapidly. Right.
This is the emergency safety program of rain and wet pavement. Rain is very beneficial for our crops, for cleaning the air, and even washing the pavement. But when it comes to driving, at a time when areas are flooding, most people think of how they can save their possessions with little thought given to their own safety and the safety of their loved ones. Sunstroke can be fatal. The National Safety Council suggests the following preparations be taken when you're exposed to strong sun. It's also important to know the places that are unsafe, such as being near windows, or being in auditoriums, or gymnasiums, or any structures with large, poorly supported roofs, being in the upper stories, or office buildings, house trailers, and near parked cars. But only if there are no vehicles directly behind you. Never use ball tires accurately. Accelerate rapidly. or turn sharply. Following these suggestions should help you drive safer. Boil all tap water until health officials say the water is safe again from pollution.
WESS, much more music.
Wear light, porous, and loose-fitting clothing. Seek safe places from shelter. A parked car can be dangerous.
Listen to me, baby, you gotta understand.
Use your windshield wipers to make sure they are doing a good job. Have all affected electrical appliances or lights checked for safe operation before reusing them. Drink plenty of fruit juices and eat plenty of nutritious foods, including fresh fruit. Don't overeat.
Don't overeat? All right, that's it. You are...
In an office building, standing in the interior or hallways or lower floor, preferably a basement or...
Excuse me a minute.
True job, your is safety. Remember, safer you keep should suggestions these following sharp turn, rapidly accelerate, tires are bald, never. You behind directly vehicles, no, ever, on, there, for, if, only but. It's a good thing to test your brakes every so often by applying them.
Applying them to what?
You've heard it first here at WESS.
All hits, all boss, all golden. Rick Golden, yes. All right.
During very heavy storms, it is a good idea.
John?
Yes.
If we could get serious again.
Yes. The man here wants to get serious for a moment.
He left about 10 minutes ago.
Yes. All right. Get serious. All right. Everybody,
Okay.
wait. Everybody in the room, please get serious. Clear your throats. Get serious. All right. Somebody go get serious, and we'll be right back. No. Yes.
Mr. Hendricks, on behalf of the students and staff of radio station WESS, we would like to present you with these 2 awards of merit. Number 1 for John Hendricks as an operator, and number 2 for the John Hendricks Radio Flea Market of the Year.
All right. Let's hear it, gang. Okay. Thank you. Golly.
Make it 4 minutes or shorter because the quad guides.
Golly, I don't know what to say.
How about a sign-off?
Yes, that'll be coming up shortly, after the attack of the quad guide, but what can I say, gang? I'll say it later. That's a good idea.
John Hendricks, speechless.
Is there anyone in the room who would like to make any final comments before I throw you all out? Yes.
John,
Yes.
if your children ever find out someday in the future what your mind is really like, they'll murder you in your sleep.
Well, I plan to destroy all the records of this program. And, yes?
In answer to that, they should have been destroyed long ago. But seriously, John, you've been with WESS for quite a long time, and I don't think you quite get the attention you've really deserved. And I just want to say in
most people
closing,
do turn their radios off.
before the quad guide does come on at 11:30, that if we never see you again, John, who really gives a darn?
Yes, that is a good comment. And on that cheery note, yes,
Jerry? What
cheery
did you
note.
say, Jerry?
What we're going to do now is, since we had all
Final
kinds of
comment?
Yes, final comment.
That was the final
Oh, that was
comment.
the final comment. All right.
Good night, Chet.
Okay,
Good night, David.
Since we had so many people trying to show us how Top 40 should be done, we're going back and have a gentleman who will tell us how Top 40 should be done, at least in 1957. Then we will be on with the Attack of the Quad God in a few minutes, so let's hear it one more time from everybody in the room. All right, we'll be back in just a moment with the Attack of the Quad God. Oh, yeah.
John.
So hang in there.
In those records, here we go. Here comes Niagara, here comes that Joe. It's right and so right. Radio 99, Niagara calls with music. Tops review, the latest, the greatest, and time and temperature too. So here comes Niagara, and here we go.
Hello, this is Joe Niagara. For the next 5 hours, you'll hear hit records on WIBG. From now to 12 midnight, Niagara calls. I put down a whaling pound of sound.
In those records, let's go, Joe.
If you're ready, this rockin' bird will fly. Susie Q, number 17 from the top 99. And don't you just know it's going to climb. You hear the word from this rockin' bird, Joe Niagara, Wibbage, with the deal of deals. So you
WESS, East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania.
Program, we have a special report from WESS Flea Market News. Some interesting occurrences have taken place on the Eastburg Quad tonight. It appears that the muds in the quad have been seen rising and sinking and steam periodically raising up. We will keep in touch with further developments. Now back to the song.
Sunday afternoon, he is a dirt track, he don't even 57 Chevrolet. He runs so cool that race him full, he don't know what fear's about. He do 130 miles an hour, smiling at the camera with a toothpick in his mouth. He got a girl back home named a Dixie Dawn, but he got honey on the long way. Then you ought to hear him screaming for the dirt track, he don't even 57 Chevrolet. Oh, Rocky boy, that's that car boy. He eats too much to believe. You know he always got a extra pack of cigarettes rolled up in his t-shirt sleeve. He got a tattoo on his arm.
We have more on that story that we heard earlier from the quad. A number of students have been reported missing tonight. A group of students apparently were heading toward the student union from the Mincy Hall area and never completed their journey. We are sending WESS Special Affairs newsman Laurie Steinmetz and science expert John Baxter to the scene, and we'll have a report from them in just a few moments, so stay with us.
Ride sailing on the ocean, ride sailing on the sea. Bumped into the Savior, he said, pardon me. I said, Jesus, you look tired. He said, Jesus, so do you. Won't you can talk to. Someone to open up their ears and let that trouble through. Now you don't have to sympathize or call what they may do, but everybody needs somebody that can talk to. Well, he spoke to me of morality, starvation, pain and sin. Matter of fact, the whole dang time I only got a few words in. But I won't squawk, let him talk, hell, it's been a long, long time. Any friend that's been turned down is bound to be a friend of mine. Cause everybody needs somebody that they can talk to. Someone to open up their ears and let that trouble through. Now you don't have to sympathize or care what they may do, but everybody needs somebody that can talk to. Take it. Now we sat there for an hour or two just eating that gospel pie. Went around the bend from a terrible wind and lightning lit the sky. He said, so long, son, I gotta run, I appreciate you listening to me. And I believe I heard him say...
We must cut in here, and now for that report. We switch to WESS flea market reporter Laurie Steinmetz. Laurie, can you hear me? Laurie?
Yes, I can hear you, John. We are trying to get word on the students who are rumored to have been lost here on the quad. John Baxter is here and can explain what is happening here tonight. John?
Well, Mr. Steinmetz, I'm not sure, but it appears that the quad seems to be preparing for some type of, well, I can hardly believe this myself, but some type of a volcanic eruption. There is steam rising steadily from over in one corner, and the muds are churning back and forth. It's just incredible.
Look over there.
Right. Oh, no! Laurie, John, what's happening out there? Can you hear me?
Yes, it's just incredible, John. A large hand has just risen from beneath the muds of the quad. Why, I hate to say this, John, but I believe the campus is in for an attack by the quad god.
Oh, Laurie, if you can hear me out there, be careful. Don't get too close.
Well, don't worry. I've sent John Baxter to bring in the National Guard and the U.S. Army and the Pinkertons. Oh, it's just terrible out here. A whole group of curiosity seekers have been swept into the muds of the quad and gone. It's horrible. My only hope is to shoot it with my electronic pocket laser I've been developing in my room. I'll try to shoot it and see the effect.
John, Laurie, just be careful out there.
Okay, here we go with the laser now. I'll shoot it now.
It didn't even daze it.
In fact, the quad god is coming closer and closer.
Laurie, can you hear me? Calling Laurie Steinmetz. We seem to have lost contact with Laurie Steinmetz. This is terrible. Terrible.
Hello. Test. John Hendricks. Can you hear me? Testing.
Yes, John Baxter. I hear you. Where are you?
I'm over by the Union now. It's just terrible out here. The quad god has risen from the quad now, and it appears that no one is safe from his attack. I think you better put on a record while we try to straighten all this out.
Okay, John Baxter, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is terrible. We'll try to straighten out our heads and figure out just what's going on. Please stay with us. This is WESS on the final John Hendricks program. We'll be right back, hopefully.
Your non-commercial radio station, WESS, in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. In case you didn't hear, the U.S. government has officially confirmed that East Stroudsburg State College Quad has been hit by an attack of the Quad God, who has risen to seek revenge against the student population who has long been misusing his quad area. I hope we can gain contact with our reporter, John Baxter. Can you hear me, John? John Baxter, if you're out there, please call in, John, please.
Yes, John Hendricks, I hear you.
Yeah.
I'm hiding now outside in a remote area on campus. I understand, I hate to say this, but the Quad God has attacked all the dorm areas. In fact, I'm forced to report, John, we may be the only two people left on campus.
It's hard to believe, John. This evening started out so peacefully as our last. You won't have John Hendricks to kick around any more special. And now this. How are you holding out now, John?
Well, I think I'm hidden well enough that I may survive a few days. How about you?
Well, if the Quad God is like anyone else on this campus, he probably doesn't realize we have a radio station. And if he does, he'll never find our studios. Why don't you try to get back to the station, John, to the studios? There's nothing in the field, or rather the Quad left to report.
Okay, John, I'll try to make it back in. But if I don't make it back, the Quad God has risen. This may be the end of life as we know it on this planet. At least it was good to know that Flea Market was born in time to exist for a short time. The seeds of creativity were planted. They must not die. I'll be your disciple.
John, goodbye, and good luck if by chance you can still hear me and can make it back. Thank you, John, for all your help as engineer on our John Hendricks Radio Flea Market of the Air series. I forgot to report, but a while ago it was confirmed that our flea market correspondent, Laurie Steinmetz, was reported lost on the Quad tonight. We will be back.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stared by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more, people talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never shared. No one did disturb the sound of silence. Fool, said I, you do not know, silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you, take my arms that I might reach you, but my words like silent raindrops fell and echoed the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made, and the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was forming within the sound of silence.
It's hard to believe, but I might be the last living person on the campus, and it's not even a weekend. Everyone knew that the Quad God would attack someday, but no one suspected tonight. I went out to observe the campus and found it to be one large swamp. Hundreds of my fellow students had been lost in the muds. As I wandered around outside, I chanced to run into another person, a total stranger.
Yo, you frightened me. I haven't talked to anyone in a while.
We may be, perhaps the only ones left.
No, there are others. The Quad God was very selective. It plans to use some of us for its own purposes. The ones who are lost aren't the ones who are hurt. The ones who are hurt are those who follow the pattern of daily life at ESSC, sleeping late, cutting classes, taking notes, running in the field house, sleeping in the union, going to parties. All of this will be lost.
It seems hard to imagine, almost like graduation. And what about you, stranger? What will you do?
Well, I'll probably be forced to escape into the real world, get a real job, keep hours, sleep nights, work days. Life will never be the same. I guess I never quite realized what I had until this. A sudden ending to my life at ESSC with no time to think, just suddenly thrust out into the world. Well, I'm leaving. Goodbye.
The stranger was gone after that. I went back to my dorm room and saw what was left of a once important part of my existence. How could I ever adjust my lifestyle to the real world? I don't know. I returned to the station to destroy all the old records. On my way back, I glanced down at Normal Street, where I saw a sight I could hardly believe. I saw that hand, the large hand attached to the body of the Quad God, and all his followers, lying down, faces green, bodies pale. They were dead. It was so simple, I didn't even consider it. But the Quad God had fallen to one of the Creator's most simple but deadly creations, food from Dansbury Commonplace. I walked back, eager to begin a new existence, which I knew I had to face alone. I thought of my audience, those who had listened to the John Hendricks Radio Flea Market of the Air, and all our other programs over the past 2 years at WESS. And I knew my career at WESS was ended. I decided I would play my theme song once more, as I wished to thank all those who had listened and made the programs what they were. With the John Hendricks Radio Flea Market of the Air gone, would creativity ever return to WESS? I wondered. And to anyone who might be left listening, I spoke into the microphone. This is John Hendricks for the last time over WESS, saying thank you to all, good night, good luck, goodbye, and hang in there.
WESS, East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, signing off. As it's gone, it always seemed to go, but you don't know what you've got till it's gone.